In 1959, the Popular Army of China achieved a full invasion of Tibet, which they had begun starting in 1949. With this came the end of Tibet's independence. In this period, in order to eliminate Tibetan culture, schools, libraries, and landmarks of importance to the Tibetan people were destroyed. The destruction was immense and sadly and unjustly undocumented. From the time of the invasion up through to the present, 1,200,000 Tibetan deaths have been recorded and incurred due to repression. The social and economic repercussions of this repression are numerous, such as the capture and execution of dissidents, capital punishment for petty crimes, forced abortions, inhuman work conditions, and illnesses caused by the imposition of inadequate cultivation practices. Even today, work camps by definition and practice, called laogai, still exist, where any political dissidents or protesters who fought for Tibet's freedom are kept imprisoned and forced to work. This continued repression has brought about a growing sense of exasperation in the Tibetan population, which has, as a last result in nonviolent dissent, begun the practice of burning oneself alive in protest. In the last 3 years, nearly 118 Tibetans have set themselves aflame, all the while shouting protest slogans for Tibet's freedom. Over 135,000 of the 6 million citizens of Tibet, including His Holiness the Dalai Lama, have escaped and become refugees in India and Nepal to avoid persecution and to attempt to salvage and protect their culture, which, with its values of tolerance and nonviolence deeply rooted in the beliefs of its population, represent a treasure for all humanity that risks disappearing forever. The story of Tibet is a tragedy which has been forgotten. It is in defense of the Tibetan people that in 2000, the Humanitarian Association Yeshe Norbu was born, entirely run by volunteers. The association is a member of FPMT, a foundation that can be found in 35 countries around the world that aims to preserve the Mahayana traditions of Tibet. Yeshe Norbu means jewel of wisdom in Tibetan and is one of the appeals of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. The aim of the association is that of guaranteeing the basic principles that are crucial to the Tibetans for the preservation of their culture and in providing material aid to the population. Yeshe Norbu mediates in long-distance adoption of children from the poorest areas of Tibet and in financing various humanitarian projects. Over the years, we have aided in the survival of thousands of Tibetan children in refugee camps in India and Nepal. With long-distance adoption and the cost of 1 coffee per day, you can change the life of a child, giving them the security of having enough to eat each day, bettering health conditions, giving them the possibility to study and become a source of hope for the Tibetan people. Through humanitarian projects financed by Yeshe Norbu one of the most fundamental is the Food Fund. Created in 1991 by Lama Zopa Rinpoche, it was created to be a source for providing free meals to the Sarajay Monastery in the south of India. Yeshe Norbu has, over the past 10 years, financed the distribution of over 3 million meals. In 2004, through Sarajay, the Karuna Home, a Tibetan center for disabled children, also located in southern India, was born. In India, Tibetan refugees have no guaranteed right to healthcare or schooling. The Karuna Home helps youth with physical and mental disabilities. Children are followed and cared for daily by a group of professionals in the fields of education, social work, physical therapy, and personal physicians. One of the main aims of the project is that of rendering the children autonomous. Thanks to the funds raised over the last 10 years, Yeshe Norbu has greatly contributed to sustaining the Karuna Home. Yeshe Norbu also finances the Noenka School, a center for Tibetan disabled children in northern India. It also finances schools in the northernmost parts of the Himalayas for children of Tibetan nomads and Sherpas. It sustains clinics and medical centers in Nepal and Mongolia, such as the Mayadaya Clinic in Kathmandu. There is still a great deal of work to be done, and for this reason we ask for your contribution. Help the Tibetan people obtain their fundamental human rights. Make a donation at www.adozionitibet.it.
You can do Sudide. You can do Sudide. You can do Sudide. You can do Sudide.
I'm counting on you.